Mr. Rachel, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I just a reminder to Richard to join. Oh, our
Oh,
handsome
okay.
guy. Hi, Richard.
Hello. Oh, is Richard on now?
You know, Rachel, this whole week I watch your video podcast with a lot of people.
Oh, really? Wow. What do you
So I,
think?
so I know you. You are a counselor for the last grade of high school to
That's what I
enter
do, yes.
university, and then you have two kids. Your first is a son, the second is a daughter, and you two learn Spanish,
I do. I'm learning Spanish,
and
yes.
then what else? What?
Wow, there's a lot of stuff that you learned about me.
Yeah. Hey, Richard,
Hello,
are you?
Lester.
Why
Hello,
don't you
Nana.
show off your face?
I just joined.
Where's your face? Ah,
Right.
this is my first podcast. You know, too
Your first
professional.
podcast. Okay.
Actually, I don't know what to say. Can you?
You don't know what to say. All right. Well, let's see.
How was your day, Lester, yesterday?
Why don't you ask people to introduce themselves?
Oh yeah, before I let you introduce yourself, I want to introduce myself first. my name, my name actually Nana Mardiana. That is the name for my father. But my teacher gave me another name, Muthoin Tama Amin, and I just combined two names, Nana Muthoin. That's how my name created. I my age is 46 years old now. I graduated from Faculty of Economics in year 2000. So I've been an accountant for about 22 years. But last month I decided to quit from my job, and I have decided to build my own business. So now I want to breed fish, catfish actually, and then mushroom, then worm, and then some vegetable. And beside that, I want to be a YouTuber. So that's my story of mine in the short. So now either Rachel or Richard.
Okay. Oh, well, I'll go. And that's very brave of you to quit your job to start a business. That's awesome. So I will introduce myself. I'm Rachelle, and I live in the United States in Massachusetts. A little bit about me. I work in a high school, and I work with the students in their last year on all their college applications and applications for financial aid, which is how they can pay for the college. And so that's what I do for my day job. I have two children. I have a son that's in college in his second year. He's going for mechanical engineering, and I have a daughter that's 12. And I also have a YouTube channel, which I started with my daughter. Now it's mostly me. But it was the idea that my daughter wanted to be a YouTuber. And now I mostly make conversation videos, but I still make some videos that are like beginner English videos. It's a YouTube channel to try to teach people English in a natural way. So that's a little bit about me. Oh, my YouTube channel is called Dreaming English.
Oh, that's great, Rachel. Now, Richard, your turn.
Yeah. I'm Richard. I'm from Indonesia, and I'm a university student and Bachelor of Information System of Computer. I'm a I'm a YouTuber and an English teacher online. And I'm also searching another job to get more income. And I like watch English film and traveling and recent podcasts and and singing and dancing and learn language and doing exercise. Yes, that's it for me. Yeah.
Okay. Have you married, Richard?
No,
So
haven't.
I met Richard. I think I was doing some conversation videos with Leela from India.
Yeah.
And then Richard was in one of those, at least one. And then through the groups that I think that we have like message back and forth. So yes, I have met Richard a while ago. I guess back in November is the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
three
have
times
both
or four
have
times.
have known each other for about
A bit,
6
yeah.
months.
And I didn't realize it at first because when I had done the first conversation videos I done with Lila, there was a lot of people that were popping in and popping out of the conversation. So I didn't know everyone, but as I've been meeting more people, I'm like, oh, I remember that person that I met when I did these conversation videos with Lila. I think there's somebody from Turkey that I've now become more friends with that was in one of those videos. And then there's somebody from Russia, no, and in Kakistan. Yeah, I can't say all these names of the countries, but different people that I talked to first in those conversations that I have since met in other groups and got to know more.
Actually, Rachel, why I need Richard to attend this meeting? Because I am too shy talking with a girl, just two of us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, it's having a conversation. Like I try to do some of these conversation videos like you're doing with multiple people, but it's a challenge because of time zones to do that. I was actually doing something like on a twice a month basis and doing conversation videos with multiple people. But I had stopped doing that because I do have my full-time job that I have to really focus on. So I haven't been doing that as much.
Oh yeah.
Nice, Pastor.
And so you Nana, it's Nana Muthoin. Is that correct way to say your name?
Nana Muthoin.
Nana Muthoin.
Muthoin.
Muthoin. Okay. I'll do my best. It's a little difficult for me, but so you have this idea to have a business to raise catfish?
Yeah, before maybe about 6 months ago, I try to breed that fish, get that fish, and I did it. I make it until harvest, so it's give me a confidence for me to quit from my job now. And yeah, that's only my confidence, because seems my career in my office not so bright. I see there's a lot of thing in the future, so I decided, and my wife said also to me, better for me to quit the job. So I attack the challenge like that.
Wow, that's really brave of you. So you're breeding catfish to sell to people, I guess.
Yeah, sell to people.
And then you said there was another part of your business. What is the other part that you're doing?
There is mushroom.
Oh, growing mushrooms.
Growing mushroom. Because in my place there are a lot of people who sell the backlog. The backlog is the place for mushroom to grow. So there is a lot of people sell that thing in my place. And there is the idea from my wife. My wife don't like me to breed fish, but she like to business mushroom. So I will combine the two.
Okay. So I wonder if people might buy some catfish and the mushrooms to make like a meal. They're like, oh, I'll buy some catfish from you and I'll buy some mushrooms. Or do people buy the catfish to have, like, I know some people around here will have these little kind of like a little fountain pond and they'll put fish in it. So what do people buy the catfish for?
Yeah. And
Do they buy them to eat, or they buy them to put in little like fountain ponds?
Yeah, there are another business actually I want to breed worm, because the excess of the backlog from mushroom. The mushroom expired after 6 months, and the excess I will make it at the home for the worm. And the
Oh,
worm will be catfish food.
food. Oh, okay. So it's
And the
all like
cycle like
it's
that.
like all of these things are connected like in a little life cycle.
Yes, life cycle. Okay. Previously, I get about $1,000 per month if convert to your USD. My
Oh,
job per
wow.
month.
And
But yeah, I just make my brave to quit the job and take the challenge to be an entrepreneur.
well, that's awesome. I'm not that brave to do that myself. Like I've been doing the YouTube, and at first I think it was an idea to just have a fun thing to do with my daughter, and it's still a hobby, but I have started to earn a tiny bit of money, but it's only enough money to buy like a cup of coffee or two a month. It's not enough to quit my day job yet.
Mm. Richard, why you mute your video? Richard, now you talk with Rachel. I'm
Yeah.
listening to you.
Okay. Have you eaten your breakfast, Racer?
Yes, I have. I have had some lovely, I make bread. I have this machine that makes bread, and I make it like once or twice a week. And in the morning, I cut a slice and I toast it and I put some lovely butter on it. And that was my breakfast this morning. So yes, I have.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm on my second cup of coffee right now.
Oh,
Enjoy
good
your
coffee.
So look at this
cup of
big
coffee.
mug. This is like 2 cups
Yeah.
of coffee right here. So it's actually, this is like cup number 3 and 4 right here.
Yeah.
I didn't drink coffee no more because my stomach's got gastric, that. So
Oh,
if I drink that, my body will, especially my stomach.
oh,
My daughter.
oh, she's so cute. I see her in your videos.
Yeah. She's 4 years now.
4 years old.
4 years, and I teach her about skateboard and ukulele, and I post it in
see,
YouTube.
yeah.
Right?
Nice.
Richard,
Well, Richard, you changed your background. Now you're no longer in Moscow. Where are you now?
Italy, Ferrari.
Italy with the Ferrari in the background?
No, a Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. So where are you? Just like, is it a random picture? Or is it a place that you know?
Where
No,
is
it's
Lamborghini
a
came
random
from?
picture.
Lamborghini is from Italy too, right?
Could be
Ferrari
Italy.
from Italy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Richard from Italy.
Lamborghini also.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can change it. I have another background too.
Yeah, different backgrounds are fun.
Yeah.
What's that? There's Ferrari, I think.
Lamborghini.
Still
I saw lots
Lamborghini.
of pictures back there.
So you
Yeah.
like sport car, brother?
Yeah, I like Nana. How about you?
No, I just have Xenia, Toyota,
Okay.
and not
Ah.
Toyota, Daihatsu.
I had a
Yeah.
Toyota. I had a Toyota. I think it was Sienna. It was a Toyota van, and then I had a Toyota 4Runner. But now I have a Honda Pilot.
Honda Pilot,
Yeah, it's an SUV vehicle,
SUV.
sports utility vehicle.
This is originated from USA?
No, that's isn't Honda is from
Oh, Japan, Honda.
Japan. Yeah, so they're all like, I only have Japanese vehicles, or had for the longest time. I haven't had any American vehicles for a long time. They have better reliability.
Liability, what you mean? You still,
Reliability meaning they don't break down as much. Like the American vehicles, unfortunately, you have to bring them to the repair shop a lot.
oh, you mean United States vehicle is too expensive compared to
Well,
Japan?
it's expensive in the fact that if you have them, they have lots of mechanical problems that you have to bring to get fixed a lot, while the Toyotas and the Hondas don't have so many problems. They're more
Oh, I see.
reliable.
I see. Yeah. May I know the cost of the student in your high school?
Okay, so all the students every year for so it's 4 years for high school, and every year they have to take English and math and science, and I'm missing one other. There's 4 core classes, I think, science, and I believe the other one would be like a history or a social studies or something. So 4 main classes, and then they can take electives. So the electives could be anything, music or world language. Like in my high school, there's only Spanish as a world language because we have no other teachers that can teach anything else. So Spanish is the only other language that's available. But the required classes are those 4 main classes. And then they have lots of different things that they can choose from outside of that. The high school I work in has about 1,000 students, like 250 per grade. And the students are very diverse. There's lots of students from different countries. We have a lot of immigrant families that live in the city. So we have a lot of students that are probably from Africa, Latin America. Sometimes we have students that are from Asian countries, but not so much. I think the majority of them are actually from African countries. And we do have students that are, I would say, that are probably European descent, but a lot of immigrant families, very diverse population of students.
So your high school need 4 years.
4 years. So there's freshman is the first year, and then sophomore, and then the next year is junior, and then senior is the last year. 4 years.
Before high school, you have
Before high school, we have something called middle school. When I was in school, it was called junior high, but now it's middle school, and that's usually grade 6, 7, and 8. And that's called middle school. 3 years for that one.
And elementary, how much year?
6 years, because you call kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, 6 years. Usually that's what they do now here in the US.
So in Indonesia, we have elementary 6. Before elementary, we have 1 kindergarten, but high school only 3 years. 3 years. So still we have third grade, 13th grade, right?
13. Yeah, I mean, we do have 13 if you count kindergarten.
Yes.
So kindergarten, we don't like kindergarten, then we start first, second, third. So it is like 13 years, but kindergarten doesn't get a number.
Do you pay for that?
Through taxes, yes, but not directly. Like I pay taxes to my city, and those taxes go to pay for the school. So even when my kids are grown and not in school anymore, I still pay for school through taxes.
Oh, you paid the school by taxes. I mean,
but I don't pay, like there is an option to send your children to private school where I would pay the tuition, but for 4 grades, kindergarten to 12th grade, I always sent my children to public school, which is free, but not free. It's free because I don't actually send money to the school, but indirectly, I pay the city taxes, and the city then pays money to the school.
About city taxes, in my country, there is some kind of like degradation. So if you are rich and richer, you have a lot of, I mean, progressive tax.
We
same
don't
like
really
you.
have that. We should have that, but what we have in our country, it is like kind of like, you know, when you're low income, you have pay hardly anything. In middle income, you pay more, and the rich should pay more, but the rich have really smart lawyers that find ways to get them out of paying taxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of not so great system here.
Mm. Richard, want to add something?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Do you learn Spanish, Rachelle, today?
Yeah, I've been learning Spanish for over 20 years, and I do enjoy it. I feel that I am fairly fluent, able to speak and read and have conversations with people, but I still have a lot more to learn to get really fluent in the language. And I think it's going to be a lifelong journey for me. I think I've seen people that have learned a language in maybe like 3 months, 6 months, a year, but they're really having a lot of time each day. Like there's somebody from Colombia, and he went from being almost ununderstandable to now he's got such a high level English. And I think it's because he has 4 to 8 hours, 4 hours to 8 hours a day, not 4 to 8 hours. I said that before, and somebody thought I meant that he had 48 hours in a day, but no, he's got anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours in a day that he devotes to learning English. So because if you put that much time to learning a language, of course you are going to, your level of learning is going to skyrocket. But I don't have that much time. I might have like 15 minutes to a half hour a day to put towards learning Spanish. So I'm kind of just very slowly progressing.
Yeah,
Can you
you
try?
want to take care of your children and your family.
Yes, exactly. So,
Yeah.
and then there's the YouTube thing, right? I got the YouTube channel, which is about learning English. It's not about Spanish. So I'm devoting a lot of time to that. So I don't have as much time. If I made a YouTube channel about learning Spanish, then I would have more time because it would be all about learning Spanish, but it's not. It's about, you know, it's about trying to help people learn English.
Rachel, can you
Yeah.
introduce yourself with Spanish?
Sí, mi llamo es Rachelle y yo vivo en Massachusetts, en la noreste de Estados Unidos. Y yo tengo dos. Want me to continue? That's easy because you know why? I think in any language, that's the first thing you kind of like learn how to introduce yourself. So I can very quickly like ramble on about myself. But if you ask me some random question about something that I don't have the language like right there, it's going to be more difficult. But to introduce myself in Spanish, yes, I can do that quite easily, as you can see.
I will learn Spanish for you, Rachel. Let's see. Maybe in 3 months I will can talk Spanish with you.
Okay, good.
Okay, Richard, say something.
Yeah. Sure. Rachelle, why so many people they are hyperbole about accent? They say, I want to speak like a British accent or American, but they are so hyperbole and exaggerate about that. I think
So-
it's not good.
Is your question about trying to have like an English accent or a British accent? Like,
Yeah. I mean, so many non-native speakers try to exaggerate their voice to similar like a British pronunciation, but they say British accent. We couldn't change our accent. We
all right.
only can learn by pronunciation.
So, you know, I think a lot of people will say, how can I speak like an native English speaker? And I will tell you, it's very, very difficult. If you started to learn the language after age 10, you are probably going to retain some of the accent of wherever you are from. And that's fine, but it is possible. I have spoken to people, like I have a friend from Egypt, and he can do a British accent. He can do it. He can talk like he's from New York City. He can talk like he's from East London. He can do so many different accents, but not everybody can do that. And is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It depends on like what he does is he will listen over and over and over again to something and really listen for the tone of it. And then he will imitate that tone. People have also worked with voice coaches. I mean, so I do movie reviews with somebody from the UK, and we will talk about different actors or actresses that are from America that did a British accent and vice versa. And they do this because they're working with a voice coach to be able to do that English accent or that American accent. So of course you can do it if you have like a voice coach and you work really, really hard on it. It's possible. But if you're just learning the language to learn the language to be fluent in the language, it's not very likely that you are going to, if you started, and that was really not just started to learn language, but you moved to an English speaking country before the age of 10. And I see it with my students. I mentioned I work with students from around the world, and the students that I meet that have come here before age 10, I won't know that they are from another country unless they told me. But if they came after age 10, I usually can pick up and know, okay, that student probably was not grown up in the United States. And this isn't just my observation, but there's actually like scientific like research about, you know, when you start learning language, when you start moving to like, and it's not just, if I moved to Spain before the age of 10, I would probably speak with Spanish with a Madrid accent, right? But if I move after age 10, I'm probably going to speak Spanish, but sound like I'm from America. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense, Rachel. And what do you think about Rohit and other accents? Because you talk with so many people there.
I mean, so I love listening to different accents. I love listening to people, you know, that are from Italy or Spain or any other country speaking English. I just love their Italian accent or their Spanish accent or their Russian accent or whatever country they're from. I love the way it sounds. And a lot of Americans do like that. And what else is very interesting is my friend I mentioned from the UK that I make these movies reviews with, he's learning Spanish. So it's really interesting to hear him speak Spanish with a British accent, because I can hear that British coming through in the Spanish when he speaks. And I think it builds character. It's part of your personality. It's part of your character. So I don't really think everyone needs to be obsessed with losing their accent of wherever they're from. And just so you guys know, I do have a thunderstorm coming, so I don't know if I'm gonna like have problems with electricity or anything.
Do you mean Ken Clay? That
Yes, Ken Clay. I think you've seen my videos with Ken Clay. Yes,
Yeah.
Ken Clay. Ken Clay from the UK. It rhymes.
Yes, he's a British but can speak Spanish. What did you mean? Is that what you
Yes,
mean?
he speaks Spanish, and I'm in a WhatsApp group for English and Spanish with him, and I love listening to him speak Spanish. We don't speak Spanish in my videos because my videos are not about they're not about Spanish, they're about teaching people English. But I am in English Spanish groups with him where I hear him leaving voice messages in Spanish.
Oh, maybe someday we can ask Ken Clay to join our conversation.
I think he definitely will. He always is willing to get on conversations with people on quite often. Many times a week he gets on different conversations, whether it be like recorded or just popping in on conversations for practice.
Okay. So is there any any business? I saw that you are looking at something. Maybe you have
I just noticed that a big thunderstorm has just started. I was trying
big
to
storm.
tell you. Yeah, it's like a thunderstorm. So I don't know if I think it'll be fine, but I don't know if like will cause electricity to go out, because when we have thunderstorms, sometimes our electric cables that bring electricity go down, because we have the way, I don't know everywhere around the world, but here we have our electric cables are on telephone poles, and we have trees, and sometimes the trees, the limbs of the trees, a thunderstorm will cause, the winds will cause those to break.
Oh, we're meeting in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, we just end this meeting in 10 minutes. Okay.
Right.
About I'm just curious about Harvard University. So this that must be a private university, right?
Oh, Harvard?
Yeah, Harvard University.
Yeah, it's actually in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's about 40 minutes from where I live.
I mean, can your son enter Harvard?
He could, I mean, he could have, he didn't apply to Harvard. He applied to MIT, he didn't get into MIT, but he's at Northeastern, which is also in Boston, and he's going from mechanical engineering, but he did not apply for Harvard. He wasn't interested in Harvard, although they do offer engineering. He didn't apply, so I don't know if he would have gotten to Harvard because he didn't apply there.
I mean, let's say he got in Harvard. How many money you should pay to
So
Harvard
here's the good thing about
until end?
Harvard. So Harvard costs about $75,000 a year. That sounds like a lot, right?
75 per year.
Yes. However, if your family makes under $100,000 a year, you don't have to pay to go to Harvard if you get in. So if my son got into Harvard, I wouldn't have to pay anything.
But your son should be clever, right, to enter Harvard like that.
He's very, very bright, but very few people get into Harvard. That's one of the hardest universities in the world to get into. So
yeah,
while if you are going to make under, if your family makes under 100,000 and your child gets into Harvard, you won't have a bill, but the likelihood of getting to Harvard is, you know, not many people get into Harvard. At my school, we got one student that went to Harvard last year. She got into Harvard, but we haven't had anybody else that got into Harvard for over 10 years before that.
Oh, so he must be bright.
Yeah, but it's a bright, but it's also like they only have so many students that they admit every year. And I think they admit about 4% of people that apply. So if they get 80,000 applications, and I don't know what they get, but say they get 80,000, I'm guessing they probably get more than that. They only admit 4% of that.
4% of that. Oh, okay.
They choose the smart people and brilliant, maybe. Faster.
Yeah. So if my son got into MIT, I also wouldn't have paid either, because MIT basically same thing. If you make under $100,000, the amount that they require the family to contribute to the education is zero. I think there's about 50 colleges and universities in the US that basically will meet 100% of need. And so basically what that means is if your child gets into that college and your family makes under 75,000 or 100,000 or whatever the amount that college has, your child will not, you will not pay for them to go there.
Rachelle, sorry, if I have income 100,000 per year, what should I pay to Harvard? 75,000?
No. Because they would want you to have money to live. I don't know what the calculation would be, but if your income was over 100,000, you wouldn't pay 75,000, but you would pay something. They would do some sort of calculation, because obviously you need to have money for your family to live. It isn't like, okay, now you make 100,000 and 100, I don't know, just $1 over 100,000, you got to pay 75,000 a year. That's not how their calculation goes, because they're calculating that you need to put a certain percentage of your income towards it.
My last income maybe $120,000 per year.
Wow.
Because I have 1,000 1,000 per month. Correct?
1,000 per month. I think that is not 100,000. That's like 12,000.
Yeah, sorry, 12,000.
I was like, zeros. It's okay. It happens.
I missed the zero.
That's okay.
So if I have only 12,000 per year, so my son or my daughter should be bright in his brain or her brain.
And apply to Harvard and cross your fingers. And if your child gets into Harvard, then let me know. I'm going to congratulate you.
I see. Yeah.
That would be a proud day. And it's possible because people from around the world apply there.
Yeah, because in
I think they said,
Indonesia,
I was just on a thing for school counselors, and they said they have students from all 50 states of the US and from 98 countries that are in their freshman year, their new freshman class. 98 countries. They have a student from 98 different countries, and they have students from 50 states of the US. So I'm sure there's some student from Indonesia at Harvard starting their freshman year right now.
and the second one is that right? That Harvard is more of them, most of them is Jews, the student.
Oh,
Jew.
no, I don't think so. I'm sure there are Jewish people there, but no, I don't think that most are.
Oh.
I mean, think about it. There's what? If you look at how many people that are Jewish in the whole entire world, that's not possible. Like it's.
Because I ever heard from 10 people, student of Harvard in law school, in the law, about 7 out of 10 is a Jews. I heard that. Is that right?
I don't think that would be the case. I'm sure they're probably more than other places, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, because Harvard wants to have a diverse population. They want to have people that are Buddhist. They want to have people that are Christian. They want to have people that are all kinds of like from all different kinds of countries and everything else. So they wouldn't want to have 7 out of 10 people be Jewish. They would want to have some people be Jewish because they like the diversity. But they wouldn't want to have 7 people out of 10 because that wouldn't be a very diverse school then. So I mean, you can look at their data. It is public on. You can probably look it up and look at. I'm sure like religion, ethnicity, and all that stuff is public.
Yeah.
They want to have the most diverse population. They want to have people from the most countries and the most religions and the most different ethnicities possible because it gives a very diverse population and it promotes better learning.
Yeah. We have still 5 minutes more.
Oh, it looks like to me that there's 2 minutes more.
2
Next
minutes.
time, if you want, we can record this on my account. I have a paid account.
Oh, yeah. Good. Because I have only 40 minutes. It's a free account.
But 40 minutes is a long time to talk. So like I usually try to limit my conversations when I post, if I go live, which I haven't done since March, I've gone for more than an hour. But if it's a recorded conversation, I'm usually trying to trim it to under a half hour. Because people aren't going to watch that long of a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Are you guys watching 40-minute conversations?
Not really. But I keep listening to your
I know. I'm amazed that you watched all. I have to say, I did not watch all. Sometimes your videos are playing because I have so many things to do. I've watched parts of them, but you watched a lot because you knew a lot about me.
Because I have to get my ear, to a native speaker.
Yes, that makes sense. It was good practice. Very
I
good
just
practice if you want to get used to both English and both UK English and United States English is to listen to the conversations between Ken Clay and I.
Yeah. Because I just being a teacher just for a month, that. So I have to keep my ear and keep my mouth open and then keep my eyes to read.
Yeah. Well, it's good practice. Listening.
Okay, guys, before our Zoom cut off our conversation, just end this. I want to end this conversation by saying thank you to Rachel, saying thank you to Richard. So now your last word.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed the conversation.
Richard? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay then, guys. So who will be next host?
I can host it in a couple weeks because I'm not going to be able to do it for but maybe like in 2 or 3 weeks I can host one.
Okay, 3 weeks more, eh?
Yeah.
You want what? When to host?
I don't have a date yet though.
3 weeks.
I'll let you know.
You want today?
In about 3 weeks, but I don't know the exact date.